Coach, go ahead and give us your opening thoughts on the last two games against Northern Michigan last weekend.
Well, I thought those were pretty evenly played games. I thought Friday night certainly went in overtime, and I thought we played a really good, strong game on Friday night. And I thought Saturday for a period and a half we played excellent. We were carrying the play. They had great crowds there at Northern. I thought that was awesome to see. But we were able to take the crowd out of it the second night. And about halfway through the game, we had 1-0 lead, and then we proceeded to take 3 penalties in a row. Momentum changed. He scored on the first power play, tied the game, took a 2-1 lead on us going into the third, and the crowd was back into it. But to start the third, I thought, again, we came out strong, and for the first 7-8 minutes, I thought we were playing well, and I felt very confident that we would tie the game. Took another ill-advised penalty in the offensive zone for a hook. They score on the power play, and then they get the empty netter. But I felt like we played outside of maybe a 10-minute span on Saturday. I thought we played strong all weekend, and a lot to build off of.
And we got St. Lawrence coming up this weekend. What can we expect to see from them for these two games?
Well, I think it'll be very similar to a lot of opponents we've played so far. Brent Brecky, their coach, interesting tidbit, played his junior hockey for Coach Kaufman on our team, and then Tommy Hill's the assistant there, and obviously he played here for us as well. So it'll be nice to have them here. But, in watching video, they're an aggressive team. They've got a strong power play. They're solid defensively, which is no surprise. They normally are. And I would anticipate the games really kind of being very similar to maybe what we saw last weekend against Northern Michigan, low scoring, hard-fought games that could probably go either way. And so hopefully we learn some lessons. And there's going to be times when you play well and lose. But I thought we played well and lost, but we kind of did it to ourselves on Saturday night for a 10-minute span. I'm not taking anything away from Northern Michigan. They played excellent. I just felt like we lost our competitive spirit for about 10 minutes, and not necessarily physically, but mentally. When you have 3 penalties in a row like that, it takes a toll. It gets the lines all mixed up, and then you got certain guys that don't kill. They don't get out there. It shifts the momentum of the game. But back to St. Lawrence, there'll be a disciplined team. We'll need to be disciplined to be successful against them.
And talking about that St. Lawrence team, and even though their record is 1-4, they've done pretty well against some good opponents playing against Penn State, even though they lost 4-1. They did tie Michigan Tech a while back 2-2, right?
Yeah, they tied Tech. And they lost Lake State. I think the score was 5-2 final there. But you look at the box score, shots on net were pretty even. I think they're a team that if they were in the CCHA, they'd be right in the hunt for home ice. They're like I said, they're very similar to us. They can score goals, but they're going to be more than anything stingy defensively, and they're going to play super hard. And we need to make sure we match that out there against them, and we've got to work on not only playing 60 minutes on the weekend, but playing 120 minutes.
And from your end, going up against an opponent like St. Lawrence, obviously you're playing the CCHA, all the Midwest, the Michigan, Wisconsin, whatnot. Is it a little different? Do you prepare a little different maybe going up against a team from the East Coast, from upstate New York, or are there any differences? Do you notice as styles of hockey?
I think the style of hockey that St. Lawrence plays is very similar to what we see week in, week out in our league. I think there are differences in teams. For instance, I think Penn State has a very particular style of play that, very much a speed game. But I think St. Lawrence's game will be very familiar, very similar for our players. I do think it's nice to play other opponents, though. We play the same opponents, obviously, every year in conference. So, and quite often we play, our non-conferences always seems to be Western and Miami, and that's, Michigan State. And so for us, when we get a chance to play someone like St. Lawrence, it's different. We're excited about it. And I know we return the favor next year and we go out and play them there. So that gives our guys, too, a little different, look at a different campus and that sort of thing. So it's nice to vary it up a little bit, and I'm glad we've got St. Lawrence.
So last week when we were talking to you, you said that Friday that you guys play Northern Michigan is always kind of a tough game, and you guys came out and got the win. I mean, how nice was that? You kind of echoing the message of, you said you wanted to come out on Friday night, and they did just that.
Yeah, I thought the guys did a super job of being, over the years, we just, for whatever reason, on the Friday night up there, we just have not played well. But the guys listened, and, I give them all a lot of credit for working super hard. That was a great game. I mean, that game was another one that could have really gone either way. And it was really a good hockey game, obviously, going into OT. But I was real proud of the guys. I was proud of them all weekend. Northern Michigan's a very good offensive hockey team. And, for us to keep them, limit the goals they scored on the weekend, and limit, I think the second night we kept them under 30 shots on net. And that's pretty good by our team. So I was real happy with just about everything but the results on Saturday. We'd like to see that, obviously, the loss be a win.
All right, thanks, Coach.